Alright, we've been beaten 3-2 by Wolves here, YISROEL. It's another frustrating result, 3 defeats in a row after losing to Leipzig and losing to Chelsea, losing more ground in the Champions League. But in difference to those games, at least today, we did look more of a threat going forward than we have in the past couple of weeks. So how do you assess today's performance?
Yeah, it's very weird because the players aren't doing so bad, but yet the performances are absolutely shit. It's only so much they can do with the facilities they have. Don't blame Mourinho, don't blame the players. You blame the bald cunt up the top, and you blame the old guy who never shows up. That's the only two people I blame in my eyes, because Mourinho, he's doing what he can with the players he has. He hasn't had a pre-season, he hasn't had a proper window. January window is always for emergency players. He hasn't had a summer window where he can rebuild, start to continue. It's so strange because I was just saying to your brother that the players aren't playing bad. It's just, as a team, there's only so much they can do. For instance, the wingers, like Mora, not really playing as a winger, but Mora and Bergwijn, they're not playing bad, but they don't get the balls into them, and they can't play off a striker. When you don't have a striker, you have Dele Alli playing false nine. He can't do what Kane does, or even Llorente at this point, or anyone, even Parrott. I understand. I love to see Parrott. I'd love to see Parrott play a week in, week out. But obviously, he went on holiday to Dubai, where all the other youngsters were on the training pitch every single day. They didn't go on holiday. So it's strange because he has the talent, but he doesn't have the will to fight. Hopefully the cheer he got when he came on today will give him something to fight for. But again, there's not so much that the players can do, and the only way this is going to change is the club is sold. That's it, really. The club has to be sold. Players have to tell the manager. I don't know what.
Yeah, but if you look at it objectively, you know, anyone in football who looks at the job Daniel Levy has done since he's come to the football club will say he's done a marvellous job. That's the fact of the matter, and you can't say that everything we have now has nothing to do with him, and he doesn't take any credit from where the club is now as a club to where he was when we took over.
He's a great businessman, I'll give him that. But with the money that he's been given, he's only I don't. It's a difficult one because he's a brilliant businessman. He's made this club so much money. We're one of the richest club in London, one of the richest clubs in the league.
We're 8th richest club in world football at the moment, apparently, according to the figures.
But with the money he's been given, you want to invest in the team first. That's my view. I'm not a businessman. I'm not a chairman of Tottenham Hotspur, but I wouldn't. If we haven't won a trophy, I wouldn't put £1 billion to a stadium. That's me. As much as I love this place and I love coming here. It's fun, it's a whole day out, it's a brilliant place to come, but you need to win stuff first, and leaving the lane, in my opinion, was a mistake. We stayed there, that's after we were unbeaten at home, we stay out that next season, we win the league, in my opinion. Again, it's just the money that needs to be invested into the squad, not just into the club. They've invested into the club, there's no doubt about that. They've put £1 billion in the stadium, new training ground just about a decade ago. It's amazing. It's incredible for what we've become. The amazing brand deals and all of that, etc. But we're not buying the big players, the big names. We're buying the names which people are conspicuous about. I want a big name player. I've said this a few times on here.
They're no guarantee of success, as we've seen before with other clubs spending big money on players who don't really make the grade.
It's something that has to be done. It's a risk that has to be taken. So,
okay. So let's talk about today's game. The decision to play Dele Alli up front, we gave him a go. Do you think that was an improvement?
He has to experiment. He has not much of a choice. It's a difficult one because Dele Alli is a good player. He's a baller, but he can't play up there by himself. He needs Kane to play off of. So there's no blame to put onto the squad.
Was it better than having Lucas or Bergwijn up top? Was it an improvement on having them two up top? He was heavily involved in the 2 goals we scored, and he could have got a third in the second half as well.
Like you said, it's a good attacking performance today. Weirdly, yeah. So it worked. But when we have a midfielder like Ndombele, who we spent 60-something million pounds on, who puffs out after 10 minutes. We got Lo Celso, who what can he do without a striker? Again, it's that one focal point. Everyone's saying we need to sign this, that, and the other. You sign a striker, all the other players come up. All the other players, we get Kane back, as quickly as possible. I hate rushing him back. It pains us every time.
We always do it.
It pains us every single time, but I have to, especially now Son's out. So there's not much we can do. This season's done.
The FA Cup still?
We'll probably take it to a replay, Vicarage Road, you know, battle it out, get a 2-1, something.
Vicarage Road is Watford, you mean Norwich? We're playing at Norwich.
Exactly. That, yeah, whatever. We're done. The season's done, fully.
What, if we win the FA Cup and get a Europa League spot?
I don't want Europa League. I don't want Europa League. I fucking hate Europa League. I said this to you a few weeks ago, I would rather have nothing than Europa League. So, we'll see.
Cheers for coming on.